When I initially started developing software, I had to store this code somewhere. Therefore, I was using Git and GitHub. At the time, whenever I felt as though I made a significant amount of progress in the thing which I was building, I used to commit and push it to that branch itself, which was the main branch. And when I started working with the team, I quickly realized that what I was doing at the time was wrong. So in this video, what we are going to do is I'll go over the 3 strategies as to how this feature branch or the thing which you're working on is put into the production environment. And the 3 strategies are merge, rebase, and cherry picking. I'll go over these 3 strategies, and this video is meant for someone who is very new or is about to go to the work environment or work with teams. If you want to contribute to open source on how to actually do it through GitHub, how to create pull requests, all that. The main focus of this video will be to teach someone who has no idea about Git, bring them to a place where they are comfortable contributing or working with teams through Git. So let's get into it. I'm inside my GitHub account here. So you'll have to log in or sign up if you already don't have an account here. And I'll hit this new button here so that we create a new Git repository. In here, I'll create a repository called Learn Git. I'll also give in a description saying learning Git. Now we have 2 options here, public, private. So public basically means anybody with a connection to the Wi-Fi can access and read your repository, and private is mostly if it's a private project or you're working for some corporate where it is private, of course. People can't just come and search for that particular repository and start reading it. So therefore but for our project we'll make it public, and I'll add a readme file also. So a readme file is just a file that gives a brief description about what this repository does and is and how to get started with it. So if you've already not seen, if you go to certain repositories, there is a readme file, and it also describes on how to get started with the particular repository. So I'll add a readme file as well. Gitignore, I'll describe what this is and how to generate it as well. So once that's done, I'll just hit create repository. So once the repository is created, this is the page that you'll be led to. In here, I'll press this code button and I'll copy this URL. Now once I've copied the URL, I'll go to my terminal and go to the folder which I want to go to. So cd dev cd yt, and in here I'll say git clone and given that URL. So this will clone that repository to my local machine. So if I hit ls, you can see that we have this folder. So again, I'll cd into that, and in here I'll open vscode with this. Again, this is a command for vscode. So if you just hit code space dot, it opens the vscode itself. So in here now, if I open this, close this, and open my terminal, you can see we are inside that project, and we also have a repository, readme file here. So what I'll do now is I'll create a file called learn.js, and I'll hit console.log, and I'll save it. Now let's just assume you are installing Next.js, the initial boilerplate code, whatever is required, you'll install it right here. But since we are not doing that, I'll just create this layer file. Let me rename it to learn.js. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll just put in the gitignore file also. So gitignore generator. So let me go to the first file itself. So here let's just say node.js node. So let's assume this is a node project I created. So you can see this is the gitignore file. I'll go here, create a new file called .gitignore, and in here if I paste in this, save it. Now what basically this file does is it helps hide certain files from Git. So let's assume we have a .env file here. We do not want to push those credentials to the repository and make it available to everybody. Therefore, what we do is we generate a gitignore file, and in here, if I search for .env, you can see these files are actually ignored from gitignore. So certain files that we generally ignore are .env, of course. Then the node modules. So if I search for node modules also, it shouldn't be there. Node modules. Yeah, so node modules, you usually ignore this because this node modules file is a huge file and pushing that does not make sense. So generally what we do is we do not push node modules. For anybody who wants to use this repository, they clone it and hit npmi, and the node modules itself is generated rather than pushing that to the origin. So again, node modules, we ignore it because it's huge. And .env, because obviously it has credentials. If you're subscribing to some third party, let's assume it's OpenAI or GCP, we do not want to leak those credentials out, so we keep it private. Now you can see it's green here. That means a new file is created. So what we'll do now is we'll say git status. So this shows the files that haven't been added to the staging area. So now what I want to do is I want to push this code to origin. So what I'll do is I'll say git add dot. So this basically says whatever file I've created, everything. Dot means everything in this directory. Let's put it into the staging area. Now the staging area is a place where all the code sits before we committing and pushing it to origin. Now I'll hit git add. Again, I'll make this bigger. So git add, hit git add. Now if I say git status, you can see it's green now. So that means these files are in the staging area. Staging area, again, before pushing it to staging area is a place where the code sits just before pushing it to the origin. And origin is whatever the code is in GitHub. So once that's done, what I'll do is I'll commit this. So git commit, always have a meaningful message. Let's say initialize code base. I hit git commit. Now I'll say git push origin. Origin is GitHub, and I say main. So this pushes all the code to our GitHub. Now if I go back to Firefox, I'll close this, right? I'll refresh this. You can see those code have come up here, and we have just one branch, which is the main branch. Now this is the initial setup. Generally speaking, whenever you're creating a project, you need the initial boilerplate to be done. So you would do all that. Let's say, so if you have a Next.js project, you would say npx next create app latest, whatever. You do all the changes which is required, ESLint, Tailwind, etc. If you're using Express, you could use Express. Do the DB part as well, all the configuration. You initialized everything. Now what you do is you commit it and push it to main. So the initial template or wireframe of your project is done. We put it in main. So this is the first process. Now we are assuming you are creating this project, so that's why I'm showing it from the ground up. So generally, if the project is already running, what you would do is just go to that particular link, clone the repository, npmi, and you get to see how the code is, whatever it is. So that part is done. So now that we have a production, the main branch is generally the production branch. What we'll do now is we'll create another branch called staging. So staging, depending on the place where you're working at, we have 2 to 3 branches which are hosted. So staging is just a branch where all the testing, everything happens. So let's assume we are working with a team of 3. They all have their own individual feature branches. Whenever they feel it's done, we push that particular feature branch to staging. And in the staging, it mimics what will happen in production. So all the testing, everything goes there. Whoever is responsible for making sure everything runs right, he gives his approval to the developers. So then the developers, what they do is that feature branch, once it gets approved by the staging, we push it to production. That way we decrease the number of bugs that can happen to the production environment. So what we'll do now is we'll create a staging environment. So what I'll do right here is I'll first clear everything. In here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a branch, and then we are going to switch to the branch. There are two ways of doing it. Number one, we just say get branch, the branch name, it creates a branch, and then we hit git checkout that branch name, we check out to that branch. But I'm going to show you a command that does both of this in one command. So git checkout is whenever you want to switch between branches, -b, this creates a new branch, let's say staging. We created and we switched as well. Now what I'll do is I'll go to learn.js and I'll hit console.log staging env, right? So again, now you can see this is modified. I'll say get status. This shows you the files that have not been added to the staging area. So it's, if it's red, it means it's not added to the staging area. Now I'll add it. Now if I hit get status again, it's green. Now I'll push it. Get push origin staging. So this branch has been pushed. Now if I go back here, I refresh it, you can see there are two branches, main and staging. So we have all the environments set up right here. Now in here, if I go to staging and go to learn.js, you can see that my changes have not come here. And if I go back to my VS Code, it is here. So now if I hit get status, it's still in the staging area. It's never been pushed. Why? It's because we have to commit it, right? So commit hyphen, and the reason why it got pushed was because it was a new branch. Now if I hit get commit with a message staging env, it's environment created. Now if I push it, oops. Now if I go here, go back here, we're still in staging environment, right? Staging. Now you can see my changes have come here. And if I go back to VS Code, get status, nothing is in the staging area because everything has moved to the origin. So now we have a production environment. We also have our staging environment. Now since we have both of our environments set up, now let's assume that I want to create a new feature, which is the authentication flow for my project. So the way I'll do that is I'll go to get checkout main, then I'll say get pull. So get pull, what it basically does is whatever changes other people have done to this main branch will show up. So before ever creating a new branch from main, you have to take a pull so that your local is up to date with what is there in origin. But because it's just me at the moment, what will happen is there'll be nothing to pull because it's already in sync. So now what I'll do is I'll say get checkout -b, I'll say f auth flow. Again, this basically creates and switches it to a new branch. I'll say auth flow. Now I'll say console.log auth created. I save it. Now if I say get status, you can see a new change has been made, which is in red color, which basically means it's not in the staging area. So I'll say get add everything. So if you want to add only a particular file, you would just say, instead of dot, you would just put the file name .js and it would still work. Get status. Now it's green, which basically means it's in the staging area. Now what I'll do is I'll push it. Origin f auth flow. So now that I've developed this auth feature for my project, I want to get this feature branch to the production environment. Now how would I do this? So we have certain strategies which I stated at the start of the video, which is merge and rebase. These are the two main ones, and there's also cherry pick. We'll get into that later. So for the first strategy, which is merge, let me explain to you what exactly it does, right? So here we've got the main branch. It just has 2 commits. We have staging environment, which has 3 commits, and we have our feature branch, which has 2 commits. Now, since we've taken a pull from main, this is how it appears. But let's say we have this is one extra commit, which is okay. Let me just, I developed a new feature right here, right? So this is my new feature which I've developed, a commit. Now I want to put this to production. So the way I would do it is, this feature branch, first we have to test it out whether it actually works the way we want it to. So we test it out in a staging environment. So what I'll do is, I'll take this feature branch and merge it to staging. So once we merge, what happens is it looks something like this. So since I added a commit here, I made sure this diagram reflects that as well. So what happens is, with merge commit, if you can see here, we initially had 3 commits here, 1, 2, 3, and I wanted to merge this on top of this. So now that I merged it, what happened is I have 1, 2, 3 extra commits, which were the feature, and 1 extra commit, which is the merge commit. Now this is the key difference with merge and rebase. Whenever you commit using merge, it always creates another commit called a merge commit. Now this is pretty insignificant when it's just you who's working it, but just imagine if there are 3 to 4 developers. If each of them committed and merged 3 commits, so that's 3 extra commits, which are the merge commits. So that's like 9 extra merge commits. Now the main drawback of merge is because of this reason, that it creates an extra commit and it kind of spoils the commit history which is maintained. So that is why people opt for the other approach, which is the rebase approach. So with that, there is no extra commit. It just places those 3 commits on the head of the commit which you're rebasing it to. But the reason why people again opt for merge is because it's way more safer and easier to get started with. Me personally, I got started off with merging and then I moved on to rebasing, right? So if you're a beginner, you should probably first get a good grasp of how merge works so that you don't break or push the wrong things. So what I'll do is, we'll first go over what merge exactly is, how to do it, the strategy, and then I'll also show you how to do rebase. So now in this diagram, I'm directly merging feature to staging. So what happens with this is, if I'm creating a PR or pull request in GitHub, if there are conflicts, you'll have to again, resolve those conflicts with this particular feature branch itself. So that is kind of a bit of a pain. So the other strategy which I'll be showing you right now is, the main aim is the same. We'll get a feature branch on top of staging, right? So what we'll do is, we'll take, so this is how the diagram looks. So we'll make a new branch from copy staging, make sure that is in sync with staging, and we'll merge a feature branch to this branch, copy staging. With that, what happens is, we'll resolve all the conflicts that may occur. The difference between the code, will try to resolve it. And then once everything is resolved, what I'll do is, I'll again merge this to, I'll create a PR for this to staging. That way, this decreases the conflicts which may occur by directly merging feature to staging. Now again, this might for some people might say this might cause again an extra merge commit, but for now, just to learn things, we'll do this way, and I'll show you how we can do it with rebase, which won't cause all this extra commits. So let me go back to here. So let me clear everything. Now if I say get status, okay, I haven't added this. I'll get committed. Now it's committed. I'll say status. Nothing is there to commit. Now what I'll do is, I'll go back to staging Now before creating a new branch from here, always take a pull. I have to mention git pull origin staging. Okay, we've done that. Now we'll create a new branch from here called, let's say, copy staging. I'll put my name here. So we've created and switched to this branch. Now what I'll do is I'll merge my feature branch to this branch. The way we do that is git merge f auth flow. So I'm merging my feature branch to this branch. I hit enter. Now I'll get conflicts. So I'll click this button here. So if I go to this git button here, it'll show, so there's an exclamatory here, which basically means there's a conflict. So if you have multiple files, this would have exclamatory in it. So I'll click on this file. I'll say resolve in merge editor. Now the main problem is in a staging environment, I'll just put myself here. So in a staging environment, we have this console log staging env, and in our feature branch, we have auth created in the same line. Now we have to decide what we want and what we do not want, right? So incoming is basically the feature branches the feature branches change, and the current is what is already there in staging. So now since I've developed this, I want these changes to be there in my staging, and I also want to keep the staging changes as well. So what I'll do is I'll say except, see, we have two here, except incoming, except combination. Let's just say we'll accept combination, and I'll say the current will be first. I hit that button. Now if I see here, you can see both of those commits are there. Now I'll say complete merge. It's done, right? Everything is sorted. Now if I go here and say git status, this is modified. I'll say git add everything. Now I'll say git commit -m conflict of staging. It's always good to be a bit more descriptive. Now I'll say git push origin cs tabish. So we've merged, we've published that branch. Let me go back to Firefox. All right. Let me go back to code. Let me say pull requests. Now I'll say new PR. See, I'll go here, compare CS staging. I'll say I want to go to staging first. See.
I can help you find a place when I know your location.
Oops.
In security and
cool. So as you can see, able to merge. Now if we had directly tried to merge the feature branch to staging, this wouldn't be able to, it wouldn't be able to merge, but it would be saying certain conflicts or so, something else, right? Like it wouldn't give that tick mark. So the reason we created a new copy staging branch is because to avoid that problem. We resolved everything. Now we are pushing it to staging and there's no issues. So I'll say create pull request, whatever you want. I say create, like you should probably add a description here. Now we'll check. Everything is, there's no problem. So I'll say merge pull request. Like once you've created the PR, usually the one responsible for the repository, the main person, merges the pull request, but because again it's just me, I'll merge it and I'll say confirm. Okay, now you could probably delete this branch, but let's just keep it for the sake of history, right? Now if I go to code, go to staging, go to learn.js, you can see all those changes are here. Now let me go to GitHub, right? Go to git checkout staging. You can see those changes are not here, and the reason is because we pushed it in our origin, but it's not reflected here. So that's why I say whenever you switch to a branch, just take a pull, git pull and all the changes should come up here. Git pull staging. Now since I pulled it, git pull origin from the origin points to the repo staging. I pulled everything down, so now all those changes are in sync. So my local is in sync with staging, so everything is sorted. Now our next motive was we test everything. The person who's responsible for testing will test everything out and he'll give you the approval. Now you need to push this to the main. So the way you do it, again the same way, we check out to main, we take a pull, we create a new branch, copy main, merge our feature branch here, resolve all the conflicts and push it to make a PR. So I'll do that. Git checkout main clear, take a pull, always take a pull, origin main. Nothing is, as of now everything's up to date. We'll create a new branch here, copy, let's just say CM Tabish, right? Created a new branch, copy main Tabish. Now I'll merge my feature branch, which is safe. I didn't do anything with that. I just took the feature branch, merged it with the copy main. I'll take the feature branch, merge it with copy main. Before I think I said copy main with copy staging. Now it's copy main. I'll do the same. Our feature branch is always safe because we are not merging anything to it. We are taking that and putting it to these branches. So git merge CM Tabish. No, sorry. It's actually git merge feature branch. F auth flow. Git merge. So in here we have no conflicts because we took a pull directly from main. In main there was no extra conflict, like extra commits. That's why there was no issues. So in here everything's sorted. There's no conflicts. You can just click here. Nothing here. So I'll say git status. Nothing is there. Git add. Nothing to commit. So I'll just say git push origin CM Tabish. It's created a new branch. I go back to Firefox, go here, go to PR, then I say a new PR. I'll say copy main, able to merge. You can see here the difference, not much difference, it's just one extra comment. Create pull request, add a description, added auth flow, create pull request. Now I'll merge, confirm merge. It's done. I go back here, main, I go to learn.js. There's this extra, or rather my feature has been added to production. Now if I go back to vscode, switch back to main, clear. There's no, that feature is not here because I have to take a pull, right? So I hit git pull origin main. It's come up here, no issues. So this is the general flow of how you use merging. It's very straightforward. There's no much hassle here. So that's how to do merge. Now there's a tool in VS Code which is basically git graph. If I go to extensions and say git graph, there's a very neat little extension that allows you to see the git history. So once you've installed this particular extension, a tab should appear here, so you can see the history of the commits, right? So this was my main branch. You can see here the head is here. There is a CM branch, the CS branch, staging, and we also have a feature branch here. So you can see the feature branch got merged with staging, or rather feature got merged with copy staging, and copy staging got merged here, right? Yeah, so you can see there's all this merge pull request. These are all extra commits. These are the merge commits, merge pull requests. Let me just close this. Merge auth added. I just wanted this commit, but there were 3 extra commits here. You can see main has an extra commit merge pull request. So that's the main drawback of using merge. So if I go here, so this might be a bit more like confusing if you're if you've just started it. So I can hit git log. See, you can see this is the merge commit, merge pull request, and this is my commit. This was the extra commit which was added after merging it. So with git log, you can see the commits which are being made, right? Again, this was the commit which I wanted here. It came up here, but it also created an extra merge commit with merge because of the merge. So that's how git merge works. Now let's dive into how to rebase, right? So I've got a very good illustration from Stack Overflow that allows me to actually say what I want to with the diagram. So in here, you can see this is a merge, like what happens while merging and rebasing. Merging, it causes all these extra commits and the history looks something like this. Whereas in rebase, it's more of a linear thing. It doesn't cause any extra commits. So the way it works here would be something very similar to like this, right? So let's say this was my copy staging. Instead of creating a merge commit right here, right? This was the merge commit. If I wanted my feature branch to come up in production, so in here again, we'll first rebase it to staging. So here you can see 1, 2, 3. Okay, my bad. There's actually another yeah, so this is how it looks. So while merging, or rather while rebasing, you can see initially there was just 3 commits here for staging. Right here, 3. There was 3 and 3 in my feature. I rebase the feature in the head of copy staging and I just have 6. So the history is maintained, no extra commits. It's a very good history, right? So now I'll show you how to do this, the rebasing approach. So let's go back here, go here, take git pull origin. I've already taken a pull, right? So I'll open this. I'll make a new branch here, -b. Let's say fix auth. I broke something in the authentication. I want to fix it. So I created a new branch from main, fix auth, right? So in here, what I'll do is I'll create another saying auth fixed. I do this. I say git status, git add everything. I say git commit auth fixed, and I push this origin fix auth. So with the merge strategy, what we did was we created a copy of staging and made a copy staging branch. That is with merge. Now with the rebase, what you have to do is you have to take a copy of the feature branch, right? So in order to do that, now again I switch to, this is my feature branch. So I'll switch to, I'll create a new branch and make a copy branch of this CHECKOUT -b copy fix auth. I created that copy branch. Now what I'll do is I'll go to staging. I take a pull here so that it's in sync with origin. Everything is in sync. Now I go back to my that copy fix branch, copy fix auth. Yes. So now what I'll do is I'll rebase staging to this, right? Git rebase staging -i. -i stands for interactive. So git rebase staging hyphen. Now if you wouldn't have put this -i, all the commits would have been fast forward or just put on top of the head of staging itself, but we want to pick and drop certain commits, right? So I hit git rebase staging -I and hit enter. You can see these we enter into a Vim mode. So if you don't know how to use Vim, you'll probably have to learn the basics of it, but I'll show you how to do it in here. So in here we just have one extra commit, which was the auth fixed, right? If you had multiple different commits, all of them would have appeared here. So you basically have to pick only the commits which you have done. So this is the commit which I have done, and I want to pick on just that. If it was something else, you just drop it. So now we are in read mode in Vim. You have a UI alternative as well, but I prefer using Vim for the rebasing strategy. So in here, what I'll do now is hit I. So this, if you can see here, it's shown me insert. We are in the insert mode. We can make changes now. Now I can move the cursor as I want to, right? And if you read this, you can see there are some shorthands. P is for pick, R is for reword, E edit, squash, fix up, and much more. I think D is drop. Yeah, D is drop. So if I didn't want this commit, I would just put D. So this change would never come up here. So if you have multiple different commits, so let's say you have 5, I want to remove the middle one, I would just say D, the commit hash. So, but in this case, I want to pick this, so I just say P. There's also squash. So squash is again basically if you have 5 commits. Let me just get back to that. Let's just clear this out first. So I pick this, right? We are still in insert mode. What I'll do is now I'll hit escape. I hit escape. You can see that insert went. I hit colon, this 2 dots, WQ, which basically means save and quit. I hit enter. Now it has been rebased successfully right here. My changes have come here. I'll say get status. Then I'll say get push origin copy fix auth. It's gone. Now I go back here, oops. I could have just yeah. Copy fix auth. We go to staging. Able to merge, extra commit, create pull. No extra commit. The changes I meant. It's gone. Staging is now in sync, right? It's all gone to staging. It's not in sync in my local, I mean. So that's how Rebase works. You just interactive. And now if I go to get checkout staging, get pull origin staging, now all of the changes have appeared in this branch. Now I wanted to share what squash was, right? So let me go back to that branch. Copy fix auth. So let's actually go to, so in, okay, let's just do that here. So here I have a couple of commits more. Let's say UI fixed. Here let me just commit this as well. Now let me make another change here. I'm just typing in something random. Just want a couple of commits to appear. Let me do that one last time. Right now, if I go to git log, I have all those commits. So I think I added 3 commits. Right now, let me show you what squash is. So now let me go and rebase again staging. So with merge, you don't get all this option. With Rebase, you do. I say interactive mode. So now you can see I have 3 commits, right? So now what I'll do is, let's just say I want to pick this, or rather, these two are very similar to each other. I don't want it to be a I do not want these two to be separate commits. I want it to be one. So we squash it. So squashing can only be done from the bottom, right? So you couldn't squash this because all the changes doesn't have anything else to go back to. So you can only squash this or this. You cannot squash the top one right here, right? So I squash this. So that basically means now this will be a single commit, and I'll just say, let me drop this. I do not want this commit right here. UI fixed. It was irrelevant, so I do not want it. So I drop one, I pick one, I squash one. This changes will appear here, and I drop this one. Now what I'll do, again, I was in insert mode. You hit I, insert, make all the changes you want. Now you hit escape and colon WQ. I have certain conflicts. I go here. I'll say resolve in merge editor. Now I'll say accept incoming, complete merge, right? Everything's done. Now you can still see there's a hash here. So I say get rebase, continue. We are again in this Vim editor. What I'll do is escape colon WQ, saved. All my changes have appeared right here. Again, this has come. Let me again do this WQ. So the number of so with rebases, if you're picking 5 to 6 different commits, you'll have to individually resolve the conflicts of each one of those. So with merge, it was not like that. Merge, if you just resolve it once, it's done. But with rebase, whatever you're picking, you'll have to resolve it. So that's why it makes it a bit more challenging to use rebase. I say WQ, successfully rebased. Now everything has come up here. Now I say, now since everything is done, I'll just push it, origin, copy, fix, auth. Now if I see git log here, only the commits which I want is right here. So the one thing which you should know is, whenever you make a pull request and basically accept it, GitHub treats it as one second, let me just create one. So whenever you create a merge request, merge pull request, GitHub treats it as a merge itself. There are certain configuration that you can do to GitHub to make this also rebase, so that extra commit doesn't appear, right? So I'll go here. It was called copy fix auth. Now I go to staging. I can see all the 3 commits are here. Create pull request, create pull request. Merge pull request, confirm merge. So all the changes which I wanted should be there in staging. Just to check things out, I'll go to staging, learn.js. All the commits are here. Go back here, check out staging. I pull it. Okay, I have to do origin as well. It's come up. Everything is done, right? So the way I've showed you is when you're not too familiar with Git, like always creating a copy branch, all that, especially with the rebase. So once you've gotten quite used to it, what you could do is you can directly merge the feature branch to staging. So let's assume this is main, right? I take git pull origin main. Let me make this bigger. Everything up to date. I'll go to check out, what was it? Fix something, fix auth. Let me go here. Okay, let me just check. I forgot my branch name. So I'll go here. Okay, copy fix auth. I think it was git checkout copy fix auth. Okay. Okay. So usually what you had to do, I made the changes directly to copy fix auth. All of these changes should actually have been in fix auth itself. So git checkout fix auth, just here. So GST GA, you can see these commits. These are some commands that my-zesh provides, so that I don't have to type in those long commands. So this is GCSM, so git commit small message. This is just a kind of shortcut. So fixes. So okay, so I have an extra command. So once you get quite good at it, rather than creating a copy branch from this branch, what you can do is you can directly start merging the main branch. You can directly start rebasing the main to this branch itself. See, the only problem with rebase is if you mess up, it kind of destroys the entire feature branch. That's why I created a new branch, like fix copy auth, especially when you're first starting out, when you don't understand rebase as much. I recommend to follow this procedure. This is the branch. Make a new branch out of this, because if anything goes wrong, you have your original branch where nothing is affected, right? The thing with Rebase is it's quite dangerous sometimes, especially if you don't know how to go about it when you get certain errors. That's why I showed you that method. But once you get quite good at it, you can directly start doing this in the feature branch itself. So I can do something like git rebase main I. It'll show me these two. Let me pick both of them. Let me rather squash. Let's not squash it. So what I'll do is :wq save and quit clear. So everything is right here. I say git log. You can see no extra commits here. Only the ones which I wanted is here. Now if I hit Q, git push origin fix auth, it's gone. Now again the same thing again. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it. So one thing which I was thinking was, what you all can do is do the same thing which I have shown you, like merge and rebase. Try to create PRs for this repo. I'll merge it probably, like raise a pull request, get familiarized with it. I'll as long like for the next 1-2 weeks, I can probably just keep on merging whatever you guys can push. Right, so I create pull request. Ideally, I would like in here just put in your name, right? So if it's Jonathan, just put console.log Jonathan and raise a PR. I'll merge it. It'll be dope to see the unique kind of names. So here it's checking for, so no conflicts. I can just merge it. Done. So that's the difference. Again, you can rebase it directly to the from the feature branch itself. But if you're just getting started, just always have a backup, right? Rebase is quite challenging sometimes, and it can also sometimes I've seen people, whenever they're making certain changes, they try to rebase and their entire feature branch breaks and they're not able to go back. So that's why I showed you that way. So it's done. So this is how rebase works. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I believe. I'll also have to show to you what cherry picking is. All right. So last but not the least, check. Let's move on to the final topic, which is cherry picking. Right. Now the main cherry picking and rebase is very, very similar to each other. The main distinction between the two is, with rebase, you're modifying the actual branch itself, right? So whenever you rebase, this entire feature branch itself gets modified. But with cherry pick, what you can do is you can pick a commit and place it wherever you want to go to. So let's say if you want to go to staging, if you want to go to main, you just pick that commit. It doesn't affect your main feature branch. Let me show you how. So this is main. Let me make a new branch from here. Check out feature. Let's just say opt clear, right? I'll make a new commit here saying opt added. No, let me actually say my name, Tabish. I would like you to add your name and make PRs with it. So I committed that. So let's say get status, get add, get commit. Now I push this origin FOPT. I've pushed it. I see git log. You see my commit is here. Now what I'll do is this hash code I'll copy. Now let's say I want to go to staging first. Everything is in sync. I had a copy branch of this, so let's go there. Check out CS Tabish. Let's make our staging and copy staging in sync. Staging, again you can do this with get rebase staging, get merge staging, whatever works. It's fast forward basically. Both are in sync now. Now I want that particular commit to show up here, so I do get cherry pick and I insert that hash code. It's come up here, console log Tabish. Now I say get, so there's probably nothing to in the status. Get push origin CS Tabish. You can pick multiple you can do cherry pick for multiple commits as well. So if you just copy those hash codes and just paste it, get cherry pick hash code space hash code space hash code. So it's done. That's all. That's as simple as that. There's no interactive mode, nothing of that sort. I go PR, new PR, and I say, what was it? FOPT staging. Oh, my bad. So I'm directly trying to merge my feature branch to staging. We made the changes in CS Tabish. So I'll go to CS Tabish. So this is when you there are conflicts. So in this case, everything's resolved. I'll just say create pull request. Done. That's it. Merge pull request, confirm merge. All of it has appeared in staging. Right now I go back. Now I do the same thing with main. I go here, pull origin main. I go to CM Tabish, copy main. I can do get merge. So last time I did rebase, here I'm doing merge. Is one and the same. Now our copy main was not in sync with main, so what I did was I merged both of them. Now both of them are in sync. Now I do get cherry pick and I put that hash code. It's come up here. Now I just push it, CM Tabish. As simple as that. Done. Now again the same flow. So once you get the hang of it, it's very simple. Nothing much. It's like a superpower for us developers. It's like checkpoints basically. So here I go to CM Tabish main. So initially, if you saw, I tried to merge the F feature branch directly to main, and it was showing me conflict. Now I'm trying to merge it. So yeah, so this automatically merges it. There is a configuration in Bitbucket where you can make the merge, like whenever you're creating pull requests, instead of merging, it rebases it. But that's a whole other topic. We won't get into that in this video, probably in the future. Create pull request. So done. It shouldn't throw an error. Merge, confirm. All the changes are in main. Done. Go back here just to confirm. Learn.js. My commit is here. I go here. Check out main. Git pull. Done. So that's about it with Git. This is all you need to know for you to start contributing to projects and working with teams, etc. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you have, if I missed out something, do let me know in the comment sections. And if you want like advanced level, more advanced than this Git, like there's so much more to learn, just let me know if this was all interesting. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.